Oh, hello. Hello there. It's Sarah, and we're going to be looking at a beaded windchime today. And it's really, you don't need a lot of materials for this. You just need some beads or other bits and bobs that you want to add to a windchime, and I'll talk through some of those as we go, and some wire really, and scissors to cut the wire. The first thing we're going to do is make our crown. And for the crown, so the top of the windchime, we need something really to wrap the wire around. We're going to do a circular crown. So I've got this reusable pint pot. And I've got the thicker gauge. I've got two types of wire that I'm using today. And I'm just going to use the copper colour. They come in all different colours, so you can choose whichever you like. And they're available widely on the wire line, beading wire. And this one's 28 gauge, and I'm pretty sure that one's 24. So the lower the gauge, the thicker the wire. So for the crown, we want it to be sturdy. So let's use our thicker gauge for that. And what I thought was I might just wrap it around the top of this pint pot. You could use a mug. The good thing about a mug as well, because you've got the handle, you can put the wire through the handle. But I thought I might just secure one end with a bit of sticky tape while I'm wrapping it around. So wrap it around about 4 or 5 times. It is pretty sturdy stuff. But yeah, this is where we're going to be hanging our wires to make our, they're going to be hanging from this crown. So that's about right. Leave a little bit when you cut. So scissors, just general scissors, usually cut through the wire pretty well. I'm going to now retrieve, take off this sellotape and push it down. The one thing there about using a mug, actually, a bit different. You're probably best off not using the handle. Reassess that one. But that's crafting, trial and error. Okay, so I'm just going to, I'm kind of happy with that size for the crown. But you can go wider, you can go slimmer. And then, so we will have 2 ends, won't we? So we're just going to, this is a great thing about wire. It's just so easy to manipulate. We're just going to basically secure that round. Now these wind chimes are quite seasonal because it's a bit breezy, and they're really simple, easy gifts as well. If you're thinking about making something for somebody, and obviously it saves money as well. Things are difficult at the moment. Okay, so I'm kind of it's secure, and we have a crown. Next bit, so get rid of that. Next bit of the crown then is to steady the ship. And we also need to create a point to have a middle line of beads coming down. So what I'm going to do is cut off ones I prepared earlier. Cut off some bits of wire off the thicker gauge, because I think we want to try and make this as strong as we can. And we're basically just going to hold it over the diameter of the piece and fold it around one end, maybe the opposite ends to the sides that you initially wrap the wire around to create the crown. simply, wrap those around there, maybe 4 times, push them together. Try and get that end as under as you can. You can also use some pliers for this sort of thing, but it is generally quite soft and pliable. And then same again on this side. Okay, and push those together. And I did that 4 times, so try and have that symmetry. Cut the end off there. Wrap that round as tight as I can. And then the other side. And the great thing about the wire is that the coils that you make add another decorative touch as well. I mean, these are rustic pieces. There's no 2 ways about it, but that's what makes them beautiful in my eyes. Okay, yeah. So I'm doing like an X, slim X shape with those. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push those 2 together. Let's have a look. So hello everybody who's joined. Lovely to have your virtual company, as it were, today. And I think this is one, that you can watch and then watch back again to get the material, to get more materials, different materials. Okay, so we've got our crown. Very simple, and that's going to be the base. That's going to be the kind of structure of our piece. The top foundation, as it were. Okay, so now we need to work on our lines, the twinkly bits. And for that, so for the middle one, so I'm going to wrap a wire down from the top of here that will go along here, our middle piece, and that can be longer than the outside lines, and obviously be shorter depending on the design that you want to go for. And for that, again, because I'm going to use the thicker wire. So I'm going to decide how long I want the piece to be. And then you want a little bit more for securing and all of that. So put that to the side. So we have our middle line, our middle piece of wire. Now I'm going to start from the bottom up. I think it'll be easier if we create our lines to put on our piece before we put them on, because it'll get messy. Now, as I mentioned, for these pieces, you can use all sorts of things that you've got lying around the house. And for the middle one on this, I'm going to use an old mystery key. We've all got those mystery keys that you find in drawers and boxes where you've forgotten what it was for, and they sort of magically appear. So I thought I might use a key, an old key, for the bottom of this middle line, and it's just through the hole at the top of the key, and then just wrap it round. Now you don't want to wrap it around too much. Actually, I'm wrapping it around too much because we need to get something else on there. But we could wrap it around flush. That's it. That's it. And then line that up so it's more lined up against the main piece of wire. Let's just trim that there. And then we can poke a bead on top of there. Let's push that down a bit. You can uncoil and correct things, which, you know, this is why I do like working with this copper wire. And, you know, it does come in lots of different colours as well. I've got some green and blue. Okay, that's fine. Now, with the thicker wire, be mindful of just checking that the beads and things, I mean, even buttons work. You know, if all you've got is a few beads and you've got loads of buttons, use buttons, and that's quite quirky. So on the, so I've got this little beige button, and I'm going to put that next to the key. So it's got the four, this is the style that's got the 4 holes. So I'm going to do diagonal holes and push the wire through one of the holes and then push it back through. Just be mindful that you have to sometimes pull the wire quite firmly to secure it. No. It will work, it will work. It's just getting that correct level of pliability. Okay, and that should, no. Okay, let's push it down. That's better. Trial and error live. Okay, pull that through. Yeah, that's better. Okay, push it down a bit more on this side. Line it up with the key. Pull that through. That's it. You can do it. But if you've got anything else at home that you think, ooh, that's got a bit of a tinkle to it, I'm going to use that to form my Beaded Windchime. I've seen some with domino pieces where people have drilled holes in as well. So I've got some other beads, glass beads, and plastic beads, and metal beads, and anything that will you know, sparkle in the light, but also might have a tinkling, make a tinkling sound. So yeah, just make sure that you've got beads that fit into the wire, fits through. Okay, let's see. I cannot see what you were doing. Right, sorry. Beg your pardon. It's because I had the tray in the way, wasn't it? Really sorry about that. So I added a key to the bottom and wrapped the wire around, and then I've added a button and some more glass beads. Hopefully you can see that better now. So it's just making sure that you've got the right kind of beads that the wire can fit through. I hope that's better now. Just going to double check. Okay. And we'll get on with putting, say, for our middle piece. So just adding beads on, building it up. I've got some, I've got a love heart bead. I'm making this for a friend for Christmas. It's a Christmas gift. Okay. Is that going to go in there? Some of these beads you do have to wrangle with a little bit to find the hole on the other side. How strange. So I can see through. Okay, trial and error with that one. Can't find the hole at the other side. Okay, so I'm just building it up with some pieces. I've got a nice metally piece here. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, we're just like, I mean, I don't know if any of you came to the session that I did about the sun catcher. It's a very similar principle. So yeah, just using the wire to wrap around this, and then we'll secure that with some wire to hang up. And this time of year, it does get a little bit breezy. Hopefully it won't be an annoying sound. Okay, building up. Some of these beads that I've got other beads inside, the little seed beads. So I have to fish those out. Okay, this big bead there. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so if we measure the top of our crown with our first middle piece, how are we doing? Maybe I can cope with having another piece on there. And that is going to be secured around here. And then I'll just show you so that it hangs like so, but then we're going to put some around the side as well. Okay, someone just finding out about how to comment, which is good. Lovely. So how are we doing for time? Okay, great. So we've done our centerpiece, and we're not going to attach it yet because we're going to make our other side, the ones that are going to go around the side, that are going to hopefully bash into it so we get a tinkle. And that's quite what's good about using a key, because if you've got any other bits and bobs, I mean, I was having a hunt round, and found some little bells from birthday gifts, people handmade cards, things like that. It can be recycled, and obviously, yeah, we'll get a bit of movement and noise with those. Great. Put that one to one side. In fact, I'll put it here so it doesn't get in the way. That's what I'm doing. So for the outside lines, the outside pieces, we're going to be using the thinner gauge. And this one is a 28 gauge, and I use this one quite a lot when I've done the beaded sun catchers. So although it is very thin, it is quite sturdy, holds up well when beads are added to it, that weight's added to it. And these are available online pretty widely. So again, it's just a case of thinking, how long do we want? And I know you won't be able to see that wire very well on probably on this table. We'll just make a guess and, I don't know, choose choose your length. I mean, if you go over, it's good because we need some wire for wrapping around and things like that. So I'm just going to guesstimate that that's pretty close to that piece. And similar principle then. So we're going to work from the bottom again. And I mentioned I found some little bells. And you can just use a bead. And in fact, I will show you what to do when you just use a bead, because I don't have all of the bells that I need for this piece. So if you let's find a bead. for this bottom piece. One that's okay, just use this glass round bead. Might be similar to some of the things that you have. So pop it through and leave, I don't know, about an inch at the bottom. You put it through and then you've got about an inch there that's gone through. Pull that up tightly against the side of the bead and wrap it round, and then trim a bit so that when you put another bead down along it, it should hide this bit of wire that you've got there. So you don't need to have a piece, if you like, that's got a little handle on it, like a little bell or something like that. But as I say, I am going to use the bell on this piece. And these are the side lines, the side twinkly bits. Okay, so there's my bell secured on the end there, and I need to work up. Hopefully you can see, and I found some beautiful glass beads. I'm going to trim that a bit. And as I'm giving it to a friend as a gift, I thought I would use some nice beads. So work your way down. We've got, I've also got some buttons to use on this piece as well. Now this wire will be a lot easier to use with the buttons than the last one. So again, got these pink buttons. If you're anything like me, got a couple of boxes of buttons. And I'm going to put it through one side, bring that down. You could leave it just like that. But I think I'm going to do what I did last time, and it will be a lot easier with this wire. Pick it through the hole in the opposite, in a diagonal, as it were, and pull that up so it's secure against the other beads. Okay. It's quite a relaxing pursuit, working our way along. I've gone for some sort of salmony pink vibe on this one. Some big beads there as well. Don't really want to use that one because let's use this one. Yep. Okay. We'll keep going for a little bit longer. And it is quite satisfying working with these shiny objects. It's a sort of thing that you can use as a sun catcher as well. So you could use it in a conservatory window or above a conservatory window, as well as being used outside. And the wire is surprisingly tough. You know, I'm not going to give a lifetime guarantee, but they are quite tough. Okay, I want to go a little bit longer. I have got some metal. Aha! metal bead that worked. Brilliant. Sometimes the metal beads are hollow and it's really difficult to find the other side of the bead, the bit of hole. That's what happened with that big metal bead. Okay, I might put another button on. This is only a two-hole button, so that should be easier. Oh, it's got a bit knotted there. Now these should, push down. This wire is a lot more pliable with more complex pieces. Let's find a little bead. I quite like to have an undulating line, so bigger ones and then smaller ones, bigger ones. We've got 2 pieces, so I want the key to hang down lower, if you like, than the side pieces. So I think that's about right. So we've got a middle piece and a side piece. Where's my end? Here we are. That's about right. And what have I got to go on the end of this one? I've got another little bell. There's 18 on it, so I think it was probably from a 18th birthday card. Okay, let me just see if there's any. I can only see the table, not what you were doing. Okay, that might be right. Okay. Well, hopefully you can see a bit better. I've put the a bell on the end of the wire and wrapped it round the other wire, and then we can put beads down. So hopefully you can see. I've secured that bell on the end of this wire, pushing it through, wrapping it around the other end, so we can get some noise, some twinkling. Okay. And then we want to use, I'm using these pink ones. Okay. That is better, thank you. Good. Sorry about that. It's I'm moving the screen down, so apologies. I obviously pushed it down too far, and I'm sorry for those that have missed anything crucial. A lot of this is about bending wire and putting beads on wire. So once you've got the general outline, it's very, very simple, and that's what I like about it. And you don't need a lot of materials either. And it's a good way, in a way, of using up stuff, because you can collect loads of things over the years, and they don't see the light of day, often. So it's good that we can use these things. Right, so I'm putting a button on now again. I like to have a little bit of synchronicity. Ooh, that's got a little bit knotted. It's fine. It should push down. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. There's a few knots in that wire. Don't panic if that happens. Most beads will cooperate. and we'll go down through any slight little knots. Okay, so we will, where am I up to? I want one of those. Bit of corresponding colour. Okay, work our way up. So we want to keep, whoa. I wanted to show you this actually. A bit of velvet, which is a great, acts as a great buffer against beads rolling off smooth surfaces. It's got a bit of a rough edge, so a bead mat that kind of helps to steady them a bit when working on beads. So just a little bit of this sort of velvet style material. And these little trays are quite useful as well. Bowls, to put beads in when you're sorting them. You can use kitchen bowls as well, can't you? Just wash them up afterwards. Okay, so whoops. So what I'll do when I've done this one is I'll show you how we're going to attach these onto the crown, because that's quite essential. Okay, lovely. Where are we? About 2/3 of the way. This particular gauge of wire does tend to go through most beads. It's very close to thread, really, and hence the easier use of buttons with this particular one. So if you're thinking about doing something like this as a gift, or and you're thinking, I could do that over the weekend, have a little hunt around and see if there's anything in any drawers or old boxes that you might be able to incorporate as just a little quirky element, like the key, or anything that's got a hole in it. You can drill holes in things as well if you want to use them, if you've got the capacity. Okay, where are we? Okay, so I want a bigger bead there, don't I? Did I use that lovely? Yes, it was these lovely glass, almost oriental beads. Okay, and then I want. Okay, time we on. Lovely. Okay. I think I'll use a lovely crystally type bead there. Great. So we're on 3 minutes past 3. So we've got just over 10 minutes. So our middle piece. So our middle piece, remember, is we're going to use the thicker gauge, and that's the 24 gauge. And as I say, just making sure that the holes are big enough. The things that you're using can go through the wire. And we've got our crown, which we created with an X, and then the middle string, if you like. We're going to push, I'm going to hold it in the center of this crown, flush against the apex of that cross. And then we're going to wrap this wire around that apex of the cross. So we're securing the cross as well, tightening that up, and securing our middle wire. Don't worry if there's a little bit of hang down. It's all part of the aesthetic. That's the great thing about handmade stuff. It's all, oh, I meant to do it like that. It's bespoke. And then we can adjust it, tighten it as we're going round. Let's do that as many times as you feel. I'd do it at least four or five times, really. But I'm going to go with this one because, you know, we want it to work. We want it to be successful as a piece outside. And then there's a bit of wire that's left. Yeah, you could leave that because it might be useful. Because don't forget, we're going to be wanting to make a piece like a wire, like a coat hanger that you can attach it and maybe put a hook on it. I mean, you don't even need a hook because you can just use the wire. So, I mean, that's why I like, you know, you really don't need a lot of materials for this. And then for our outside pieces, we just want to, again, just hold this piece flush against, so you do need two hands, more than two hands in some cases. I'm just going to put that in the middle there, and you can make these, you can have as many of these wires hanging down as you like. I've seen some where there's about 20 20 wires going round. If you've got the beads and the time to do that, then, you know, go for it. And they do look lovely, I have to say, the ones with lots of wires hanging down, beads on, and other, you know, quirky pieces that people have added. And it's just a case of just wrapping that around that crown. So as I say, it's similar in some ways to the sun catcher, and it has a similar kind of function as well. If it was in a conservatory or something, even in the garden, it'd catch the light and twinkle. And we can get some, you know, they will. Yeah, I can hear some stuff going on. Brilliant. So again, with this piece, I have a big stash of stuff. Brilliant. Well, you can add as many wires. Maybe make more than one. That's the thing. You know, if you've got, you know, you can make more than one of these. And I think they're a lovely present, actually. Lovely gift for somebody. You know, I've got some beautiful beads here that I'm using. Might keep it myself, you know. Right, so we've got two of our exterior wires on now, and you can adjust them. Excuse me, tighten them. So sorry to Christine, who couldn't initially see, and I hope that hasn't affected the overall enjoyment of things. I hope that you still got the gist. The great thing about these, as I say, is you can move them around, adjust them. So with the two bits of wire that are hanging over, we can actually wrap those around this middle bit of excess wire. You can tie a knot in it. In fact, I might just wrap those two round together. And then I can make a hole, you know, I can make a loop there that can become a hook. So work your way around with your beads and your other bits and bobs that you want to use. You can make the crown any size you want, obviously. If you've got something, as I say, something to wrap it round, maybe just secure it with a bit of tape while you're wrapping it around 4 or 5 times around that piece. And, you know, the great thing about the wire is that it's so malleable. You can adjust things, you can take things off and repair it with absolute ease. And I think, I don't hope you can hear any kind of tinkling going on there. And it looks, you know, even though it's so simple, you know, it's got that rustic feel to it, that it looks good, I think. So if you've got any beads, keys, I mean, you could add keys on each of these. I just found, I was having a rummage round and found these little bells. I thought, ooh, I can add those. So what time are we on? So it's 10 past. So I need to make another one, which I might not get finished. But I was thinking I'd probably do 4 on this one. On the outside, I mean. 4 of these wires. So there's 5 altogether. And then, you know, that will be hanging like that. The wind will be just having a romantic image of the piece. And if you caught the Suncatcher one a few months ago, I know the videos are available if you want to look back and see. It was a very very similar principle. We did use a twig to attach the wire to, and some eyelets. But actually, you can just make the Suncatcher just from the wire as well, which is brilliant. And it's just so malleable. You know, you can attach all sorts of junk to them. And they do work well. And the crown is quite sturdy, actually. Yeah, that's not doing too badly. Okay. So I'm going to cut one of these off to use. It's lovely. I'll have a go, but not sure mine will be so colour coordinated. Well, actually, some of the ones that are multicoloured look really lovely. I've seen so many of these on Pinterest, and it's a great source of inspiration. And with the different colours, they look absolutely gorgeous, especially the ones with blue in. I don't have a lot of blue beads, actually. The beads I have do tend to be these colours, even though I absolutely love blue. But thank you for watching and persevering with this, sometimes with the live broadcast. But it's been an absolute pleasure to have your company today, and happy creating. Found another little bell. Okay, wrap that around. Try and have a little bit of symmetry with those lines. Oops. Need another button. For anyone who's still watching, I'll probably be here in an hour's time. Still working on this. But again, the Pinterest rabbit hole. I know what you mean. You get all the notifications and you're there looking at all the ideas, rather than actually doing them is the thing. But yeah, thank you for your company today, and your great inspiration. It's always inspiring to hear from people in the comments. I think it's just about to close, so see you again another time. Thank you. Bye.